Let's go ahead and let the cat out of the bag. Chidi Ahanotu, what's going on?
Well, I mean, I got a text message from my fellow defensive lineman, Warren Sapp, saying he wants to fight me. Now, most of the community knows, but, I don't know if everyone knows, but we had a fight in the locker room my last year. I had to put them hands on him, which I never touched him because Warren was ducking and dodging and running. Now, a lot of Warren Sapp fans out there, so they lash out at me because I'm telling the truth.
Right.
They don't want to hear their big idol was running from.
You can't handle the truth.
But that's what happened, man. He was running, ducking, and dodging. I was throwing blows. But he sent me a text out of the blue years later saying he wants to fight me. So I honestly said, it was during the pandemic, and I said, really, honestly, I have no interest, but if you want these hands, you can come get some. And, he said he wants to fight me. So I said, well, let's do it then. So I'm here today to officially sign a letter of intent to box Warren Sapp in the ring. And we'll see if he steps up to the plate.
Awesome. So there you go. Mr. Chidi Ahanotu will fight Warren Sapp. This is real. This is live from the Grand Cathedral Cigar Lounge. I'm your host, Peter Blake, along with Mr. Blake Anthony at Sports Talk 49, Chidi Ahanotu. So what should fans expect? Have you been training for this fight? What kind of fight is it going to be? Is it MMA? Is it boxing? Tell us a little bit more about it. Reveal some of these details, because I know there's fans out there that are looking forward to seeing this fight happen.
Yeah, I mean, I said let's box, just square up and let's throw these hands. But Warren's been, negotiating and trying to get terms, and now he says he wants to do MMA. And I said, man, I don't know any mixed martial arts, bro. I mean, I've been fighting since I was a little kid in the streets of Berkeley and Oakland. So all I know is about throwing these hands. So MMA, mixed martial arts, that's nothing I know about, So I said I used to take Aikido back when I was a kid, the martial arts Aikido. You heard of Aikido?
I've heard it. I've heard of it.
We can do some Aikido in the ring if that's what you want to do.
Right, right.
But I said let's box, man, and if he really wants to get in this ring and do this, then I'm all game for it, man. So we'll see if he meets me in the ring. I highly doubt that he'll meet me, because honestly, man, the first time we were fighting in a locker room, he was pretty scared.
What was the fight over? Can you tell us about that? Can you take us behind the curtain a little bit?
I mean, I'm 3 years older than him, so Warren's always been like my little brother. And honestly, let everybody know, he's still my brother, okay? I mean, sometimes family fight, and, he's like my little brother that got too big for his britches, honestly. And, Warren I was never the target of his, antics. But once Hardy Nickerson left, I don't know, Warren just kind of went, he took it to a whole nother level. And one day he was just, he started coming at me, and then he took it too far. And it's too long of a story, honestly, to go over here. But in a nutshell, he started coming at me, and he said something about my father, my daddy. And, where I come from, man, you don't talk about people's family, man.
No, you don't talk about family. You don't talk about kids. You don't never do that, ever.
So at that point, man, I was like, I'm about to beat your ass, dog. And he's like, you're not going to do, can I cuss on this show?
Can cuss a little bit. We'll give you that. You're Chidi Ahanotu. Come on.
He said, you're not going to do shit. So I said, wait, watch this. And for some reason, I started tying my shoes. Which, I said, wait, I didn't take a shot. I said, wait till I tie these shoes, and then you're gonna see what happens, So I finished tying my shoes, and I grabbed my helmet. His locker's right across from mine. And so I grabbed my helmet and was coming at him, and all my teammates hemmed me up. They're like, we can't let you do that. And I'm like looking at them like, he needs his ass beat. And like, yeah, but we can't let you do that. And I said, why? And they said, because you had that helmet in your hand. I looked down, I threw the helmet back in my locker, and they all looked at each other and shrugged and let me go. And that's when it was on. And then Warren jumped out of his locker room, and we squared up in the middle of the locker room.
Besides yourself, do you think there were a lot of players that also wanted to take him to task, if you will? Because he was kind of like that.
Players have already fought him. Dexter Jackson fought him. Tyler Jackson and him tussled on the field during practice once. So, you know, we had a divided locker room because of him. And some people, you know, adhered to his little antics and code of conduct. The other half couldn't stand it and didn't condone it at all. So, you know, I just started throwing blows, man, and he had eyes wide open like this live artillery coming at you right now. You know, all that talking you've been doing, but now this is live artillery coming at you.
Rounds here.
Yeah, and then, you know, he was ducking and dodging and running, really, honestly, man. And then the teammates all broke it up.
Right.
And, you know, at that point, man, I was already hyped up. You know, I'm a pretty mellow guy, you know, until it's time to go to battle, you know.
Sure.
I was all hyped up, and they broke it up, and Warren was like, "Oh, I got to go to practice," because it was right before practice.
Right.
And I said, "Man," I said, "F practice. Let's get this on. Let's get this on right now."
Right.
And he's like, "Oh, I got to go to practice. I got to go to practice." And then somehow, I don't know, he said he's going to fight me after practice. Like we're in high school again.
Who
right?
wants to fight after practice after putting all that hard work in?
Yeah,
honestly,
like we're in
Come
high
on
school.
now.
I feel like we're in high school again. And at that point, and Monty Kiffin, he comes during our little individual period, and he says, you know, "Hey, you know, I hear you guys are gonna fight. You've been fighting, and you're gonna fight after practice. And come on now, we don't need this. Come on now, you guys, come on, tell me you're not gonna do this. Tell me you're not gonna do this." And I was still hot. You know, and I said, "As long as Warren keeps my name out of his mouth, we don't have no problems." And Monty goes, well, Warren, well, is that okay, Warren? You gonna keep his name out of your mouth? And Warren goes, and then no fight ever happened after that.
Right.
Know? So, you know, that's how it started, man. And this like 10, 12 years later, and I get this text from him saying we can get that fight. We can finish that fight.
Sure.
That Monty stopped, which Monty didn't actually stop it. Our teammates hemmed us up in the locker room.
Right.
And so, you know, if he wants to get it on, we can go, man. I mean, you know, I'm a warrior, bro. I mean, you know, honestly, in my whole life, nobody's ever beat my ass. So I'm interested to see on that level, maybe he does beat my ass, you know?
Have you been training for this?
Have you been training? Yeah, that was, you know, honestly, man, like one of my good friends is Antonio Tarver.
Okay.
I got mad respect for Winky Wright. I've been a boxing fan since I was a kid, you know, watching
St. Pete hotbed, by the way. Winky Wright, of course. Antonio Tarver starring in Rocky Balboa, of course, his fame there.
Yeah. So I mean, I always you know, do a little boxing thing just to keep in shape. But to say I'm training for this fight, I mean, you know, I'm sure there's more that I'll be doing. But honestly, I feel like Warren was backpedaling from the fight, you know, because he was talking all these terms and MMA and all this other stuff. So I haven't really, you know, got all the way into training, but you know, I'm always fight ready, man. I have 3 sons. My 3 sons keep me fight ready, man. They always want to test me, man. They want to test the old pops. So you know, we'll see, man. I mean, I got to get in better shape. You know, I'm a fat ass right now. You know, I'm not used to being this. I'm used to being pretty, man. I'm a fat ass right now. But I'll be ready though.
You being ready? You'll be ready?
I'll be ready.
Okay. All right. We're live here on NSPN. I'm your host, Peter Blake, along with Mr. Blake Anthony, former Buccaneer, great defensive end, Mr. Chidi Ahanotu. You mentioned Monty Kiffin. We'll get back to Sapp in a moment here. But how much of an impact did Monty make on you today? Of course, you go to the Ring of Honor. You go to the game first time in 2 years. But what kind of impact did Kiffin make on you in your career?
Oh, Monty was fabulous, man. I mean, he was like the uncle, or I don't want to say grandfather because that's just too old, but he was like family, man. You know, Monty took you under wing, and you know, he kept us all together and he kept the meetings interesting. You know, Monty is a character. I don't know if anybody saw that today when he got inducted, but you know, he kept things light. He would come in and playing music, you know, and
what kind of music does he like to play?
Well,
he's the mad scientist,
so he would come in playing, you know, different stuff, blaring it, you know, just every once in a while, just to, you know, shock value, I guess. But no, Monty was integral in my career and a lot of other guys. You know, he kept things, you know what to expect from him. You know, he kept things simple. I actually made a joke about him getting inducted. I said, Monty getting inducted. All we had was 2 calls. That's all we did. And we just let the dogs loose after that, you know? So how the hell is he making the Ring of Honor? Monty had 2 calls and we didn't even have to huddle, really. It's over, under, or over, under. That's it. Over cover 2 or under cover 2.
Yep.
And that was it. Sometimes we'd have a blitz.
Right.
You know, but no, Monty's awesome, man. Well deserved. I was happy to see his name up there on the Ring of Honor. I think it's next to Tony's.
Yes,
if I remember right.
Right.
Where it should be. And you know, that's one other down, man. There's some other guys that need to go up there. Hardy Nickerson is one. I'm hoping he's next.
I mean, the hardware man. I tell you right now, number 56, the impact, and he doesn't necessarily get the pub, I don't think, but he was, and you could admit to this, he was really the legitimate free agent that came from the Steelers and kind of changed what a lot of players were thinking around the National Football League, that the Tampa Bay Buccaneers were a joke. So when he came, the culture kind of changed. He's a culture changer. And then on top of it, on the field, he would just knock your teeth out. Talk about legitimacy. Yes. Talk about playing with Hardy Nickerson a little bit.
I mean, let it be known here. I mean, without Hardy, we don't have the Buccaneers success that we had. Okay.
Amen.
And that was the reason. There wasn't any other reason. On offense and on defense, he set the tone. On our offensive guys follow his leadership, you know, and his presence. He set the tone. He set the attitude. He set the mentality. And we came out to have a street brawl, okay? Every game, because that was his mentality.
Right.
And if you weren't up to that par and you weren't coming with it like that, you'd hear it from him, and that just wasn't acceptable, okay? And you know, I don't understand how come he doesn't get more credit. Something that's really
baffling
and troubling
to me. You're right.
I mean, he's my mentor. You know, he went to Cal Berkeley, my alma mater. I watched him as a young man, you know, doing the same thing in college. So, and when I got here, you know, I was a rookie. Hardy was a free agent, the big face of the franchise, and he took me under his wing. And
what was the best piece of advice that Mr. Nickerson gave you coming into the National Football League, Chidi?
He taught me to study.
Okay.
He taught me to study film, study my opponent. Honestly, my first 3 years, I was not doing everything that I could do. I was hanging out here in Ybor City and coming to practice, maybe had some, you know, done a little too much the night before.
Not you
Chidi.
now.
Not you, Chidi.
But
well, that's an NFL. That's a player's life to a certain degree. But yeah, I always say, and I'm just an outsider looking in. I love sports. I've watched football for so many years now, and I always say it's all about the priority. If you want to be great, and you were a late round pick, so you already had a chip on your shoulder anyway. And I think, you know, asking you this question next. Is that extra motivation for you? Because it was definitely extra motivation for Tom Brady being a 6th round pick. Was that extra motivation for you? Were you coming into the league and saying, you know what, I learned all this stuff from Hardy Nickerson. I got great advice. Now I'm going to take it seriously. Now I'm going to make these people pay. I'm going to get so great at what I do. I'm going to make these people pay double and triple than what they originally wanted to, because I was coming into the league. I'm a late round draft pick. Is that how you were feeling when you got drafted?
Somebody owed me some money.
Well, honestly, I was just happy to be in the NFL.
Okay.
Let's just say that, you know. So I made $135,000 my first 3 years in the NFL. Okay. That shit pissed me off. Because I was starting as a rookie. I came in with John Lynch. John wasn't starting, and he was making more than me, you know, which he was a 3rd round, I think.
Yep.
So it was there, but honestly, I was just happy to be in the NFL. I was grateful to be there, you know, and I knew as a rookie that even though I was starting, that I had a ways to go to really be great. And, you know, after year 3, it really started kicking in for me, and I took it to a whole nother level. And I said, okay, it's time to stop messing around. And I started really studying. I thought I was studying, but I really wasn't studying as much as I could. And I really just started just going to the lab, man. I was in the lab.
Lab work, baby.
Yeah. And that's when, I was named a franchise player, and, I had a really good career.
Absolutely. We're live right now on NSPN, your post-game edition. We'll talk Bucs here in a moment. We're talking a little history here with former Buccaneer great Mr. Chidi Ahanotu. Of course, Mr. Blake Anthony of Sports Talk 49. I'm your host, Peter Blake, giving you something to think about, and give me something to think about when it comes to Rod Marinelli as your defensive line coach. How instrumental was he to your progression, if you will, as a defensive player in this league?
Well, me and Rod Marinelli, we go back to high school.
Wow.
He's really like my second father. I was a high school kid, and I went to the Cal Berkeley summer camp, and I got discovered, quote unquote, discovered. And, he's followed me high school, college, pros. He's been there every step of the way. And, he's the reason. If it's not Hardy, it's also Rod Marinelli, the reason for my success in this sport. He just is he has a military background. He's an old Marine, so he's tough.
Hoorah.
He's tough. Yeah, he's tough. Very, very tough. But he did it in a fatherly way. Okay, and he wanted to please him. You want to make your father proud of you.
Right. Right.
He I don't know where I'd be without Rod Marinelli and Hardy Nickerson. I really don't. Those guys.
I loved Hardy Nickerson.
Really are. I owe them my career. I do.
Tony Dungy. I've talked to him several times, and he is everything as advertised. Once at a book signing, and the other at another book signing with his wife. Tony Dungy, what kind of impact did he have on you in your career?
Again, all these people are very integral. Tony came in, and he was the calm in the storm. We had just finished with wacky Sam Weiss.
Oh, Lord.
And you never knew what to expect with Sam.
How wacky was he? Because I remember some stories.
But we
were talking to Bubba Grimes a couple months ago here on NSPN, and he was saying the one thing he remembered is Sam tapping him on the shoulder and saying, basically, you're no longer needed, which is cruel, but it is the NFL life, especially for a player like Grimes, who started a lot. But Sam Weiss compared to Tony Dungy, no comparison?
Oh, totally opposites. Sam was very calm. Not Sam, it's Tony. And you know what to expect every day. He brought a calm and consistency to what we were doing. And that goes a long way when you're trying to compete week in and week out, to know what to expect and what's expected of you.
Right.
When Sam, honestly, my first game in the NFL, I was sore because our practice, we're doing too much. We weren't taking care of our bodies. We weren't doing things a smart way. And Tony came in and he corrected all that, So no, he's another guy, and I still stay in touch with Tony. Tony was like the grandfather. He was like your grandfather, and he really, took a place. Like, we were some rabid dogs, but he was like the calm, stable one that we needed,
right?
To keep everything together. So,
of course, the Bucs are playing the Rams next week.
Absolutely.
You always think about 99 and that NFC Championship game. What could have been?
Oh, all the time.
The catch.
I'm still pissed off about it.
Catch.
How could you not be? You guys shut down one of the greatest offenses, right? In NFL history. You were winning 6-5. Of course, you go for the blitz in the fourth quarter, and then Ricky Prohl catches the touchdown. It looks like you guys have an opportunity to come back. Bert Emanuel looks like he has a catch. Maybe there's an opportunity there to extend the drive. And then, of course, the NFL says there's no catch. And then the very next year, they changed the rule because they know they were wrong. How do you feel about that whole situation, Chidi?
I'm pretty pissed off. You're pissing me off right now.
I don't want to do that.
I was having a good night till now.
Damn it, Peter. God
now I need
dang
to,
it,
now I
Peter.
need to go in that
Christ.
bar over there and have a couple drinks.
Well, see, there you go. See, we're trying to get you out of here, but let's try to get you out of here on a positive note.
Yeah, on a positive note. Man. No, that was tough, man. And that was one of the best games I ever played in. And to shut down an offensive powerhouse like that in their house for a championship game, man, it was an awesome feeling, you know. And honestly, I had to hold myself up for a few weeks in a hotel after that game because I was just so devastated, you know. Like you spend every ounce and fiber of your being
right
on
body's
that
on the
field.
line.
Yeah,
I know what you mean.
And then to lose it that way was just, you know, it was just devastating. So, but you know, maybe one day it won't hurt so bad anymore. You know,
Peter, you opened those wounds. That's what he's telling you.
I'll tell you what. Let's move on here. Tampa Bay Buccaneers in 2020 with Tom Brady coming to town, Super Bowl champions. I mean, you must be sky high because once a Buccaneer, always a Buccaneer, Chidi. So give me your thoughts. I mean, going through the pandemic, not having a preseason, not having a training camp, learning a new offense, a guy that supposedly from the national pundits was washed up with that defense doing what they did in the postseason. I mean, just an amazing year. Your thoughts?
I mean, I was blown away. Honestly, I didn't think he had anything left in him.
Mm-hmm.
And he was a little shaky at points where you're like, oh, okay, yeah, he's old. Look at that old Tom Brady wouldn't have done that, you know. But they put it all together, man. They put it all together. That defense was coming. And what can you say, man? Honestly, I didn't, you know, that's another sore topic because, you know, Tom Brady and all the Spygate and all that stuff, I really didn't take, you know, I really was upset about all that.
Mm-hmm.
And I really wasn't a Tom Brady fan. And then he comes to my team. I'm like, this guy is following me. He's tormenting me, coming to my team. He better win the Super Bowl, Dan. He better bring us to Lombardi this year. You know, that's the very least he better do. And he did it.
Right. Is it Belichick or Brady in your opinion? It's Brady, right? At the end of the day?
Brady.
Obviously?
It's obviously Brady.
Chidi.
Yeah. I think it's Brady. You know, he's the
G.
engine.
He's the G.
Yeah, he's an engine.
All right, I got to ask the question. The comparison is always there. 2002 Bucs defense versus the 2020 Bucs offense.
I'll tell you what Brad Johnson said to that when I asked him.
Well, you have to get to that later, but I want to ask Chidi Ahanotu here.
Wait, 2020
defense versus
2002
2020 Bucs offense versus the 2002 Bucs defense.
Yeah.
That whole matchup, who wins the game? Because I tell you right now, you know, a lot of people don't give the pub to that 2020 defense, but think about it now, Chidi. Some quarterbacks they knocked out.
If they play against each other, you're asking me?
Yeah.
The 2020 offense versus our 2020 defense?
Yes. The 2020. Yes. The 2002.
Yes.
The 2002 defense.
Nah, 2002 defense would have took Brady's lunch.
Oh, wow.
Okay.
That's not even a question.
Okay.
What about the Bucs defense for 2020? Would they have taken the lunch from Keenan McCardell, Keyshawn Johnson, Michael Pittman?
The 2020 defense?
Yeah.
Brad Johnson. Yep. All them guys. Offense versus
Remember now, they knocked out Drew Brees, Patrick Mahomes, Aaron Rodgers. They disposed of those guys.
I mean, I'm biased, so I'm a defensive guy. So
there's nothing wrong with that.
You know, but you're talking about some pretty great defenses.
Yeah.
So
Right.
I have to go with the defense on that one too.
Yeah.
Okay.
You know,
all right.
Just with.
Well, I don't want to keep you for long, but I want you to say some final words to Warren Sapp, and once again, you know, talk about this big decision that you made tonight here along on NSPN. You're going to be fighting Warren Sapp here in the next couple months.
Not a decision yet.
Not a decision yet.
Decision is in hand.
Decision is in hand, and that's
$60,000 purse.
$60,000 purse.
You said $60K, right?
$60K there.
$60K?
$60,000 purse, right? Chidi Ahanotu has met Warren Sapp
Here we go.
agreement.
Here's the official signing right here, ladies and gentlemen. He's signing it right now.
The deal now.
This is live on NSPN. Go to any platform. They don't have it. I'm sorry. They don't. This is called Evolving.
$60,000 purse.
Hey,
Warren Sapp.
Uh-oh.
I just signed a letter of intent. So Warren needs to step up, or he can just shut up and stop talking, man.
Or shut up.
Okay.
Warren Sapp
Because honestly, I got other stuff better to do than deal with him, honestly. So all this talking, and Warren ran to the radio stations and he's lying. Like, Warren, stop lying. First of all, you wrote about me for 6 pages in your book. A lot of people don't know that, and pissed me off because you lied about the fight in the locker room. He tried to act like he was beating my ass, and he was punking me. It was the opposite, actually. Okay, stop talking. Okay. And look, man, let everybody know still, that's my brother. You can't pick your family, but sometimes your little brother needs to get punched in the mouth. And that's what he needs. And maybe he'll stop talking, because I'm not really a talker, man. You know, I'm really just a doer. And, you know, we fought each other at the prime of our careers, and he was running then. Now we're all old, and now all of a sudden he wants to fight me. Come on, man. Stop it, Warren. Listen, man, meet me in the ring, stop the bull, and let's get it on. Because half the community really don't like you, Warren. Okay? Because you've offended more than half this community.
And one of them's here.
Okay.
I'm sorry.
And
I couldn't hold it.
Maybe
I'm
two.
so sorry.
Maybe two. So
and honestly, since he's got here, I've had to apologize. People come to me with their Warren Sapp stories. I'm apologizing for his behavior all the time. Okay. And all that talking. See, there's perception and there's reality. And that's what Tony Dungy taught us. Perception is he's the big bad Warren Sapp. I mean, I'm scared. I'm scared to death. Honestly, he's the quarterback killer, right? You know, so, you know, I'm worried about my life, man. You know, he's a quarterback killer. So I'm a little scared, you know, so, you know, Warren, come on, man. If you want to come in there and you're the big bad Warren Sapp, then you should have no reasons not to fight me in the ring, bro. You know, I'm just a little old Chidi Ahanotu. I'm nobody. You know, my name's not in the Ring of Honor. I'm not in the Hall of Fame. You know, so, you know, everybody pray for me, because I'm putting my life on the line here to avenge everybody who's been offended by Warren all these years. I'm going to punch him straight in the mouth, and I'm trying to take his head off. And then when he gets up, I'm going to give him a hug, and I'm going to say, look, man, maybe you stop behaving this way, okay? Because it needs to stop, man.
I agree.
It needs to stop. And then he's lying about even this. He said he didn't send me the text message saying he wants to fight me. I had to show the receipts. I said, man, here's all your text messages, man.
Right.
What are you talking about?
You're over here sipping tea right now, telling everybody what's going on, and he's denying it.
He's denying it. You're the one that texts me, and now you're saying you don't even have my number. You never text me. And I don't know, like, dude, maybe something's wrong cognitively. Honestly, a lot of us are going through this. If that's what's happening, look, man, I understand, and I hope he, you know, takes care of that. But, you know, I have my own cognitive issues. We all do. Mm-hmm. But, dude, I have the receipts. Here's all your text messages, right? And now I've showed that you're lying, and now you say, oh, well, I want to do MMA. Like, come on, man. I'm not rolling on the ground with nasty Warren Sapp, who's been sleeping with prostitutes and everything else he's done.
Oh, my God. There it is.
Hey.
There it is.
Hey, I'm not doing.
There it is.
It's real, man. It's definitely real.
Hey, I'm sorry, man. I can't be rolling on the ground with sweaty, nasty Warren.
Your number, my friend. Either you fight or you do not. 60 stacks for charity. Chidi Ahanotu has met one of your two contenders.
And that's Eric White in the background there. He's so passionate about this. You are passionate about this. And I think all those coaches would agree. I know for a fact that you are an integral part of that defensive line and the greatness of that defense before 2002. Thanks a lot for your time, Chidi Ahanotu. Once again, you want to go ahead and promote yourself on Twitter where people can find you, friend you on Facebook. We're Facebook friends now, so definitely don't be a stranger on the evolution of Sports Talk Television. We'll talk more, all right?
No, I appreciate you guys having me. It's great to be back home. And look, man, I'm looking forward to, you know, doing more things in the community. All my kids are grown now, so I can put my energies back into, you know, my whole thing and the Chidi bang bang blend.
Like it.
All right.
Chidi bang bang.
You know, we'll see what else we can get popping around here. So I'm looking forward to it.
All right, former Buccaneer great Mr. Chidi Ahanotu here live on NSPN. Thanks a lot for your time, my friend, and we'll see you soon. Here you go.
You answer it or you do not.
There you go.
Box or you do not.
I love it.
60 stacks. let's go or let's not go.
All right.
This man has answered the call. Either you do.
Letter
or
intent
you
has
do
been
not.
signed.
Letter
Letter of intent has been signed for
signed.
$60,000.
So
letter of
Chidi-
intent has been signed.
Chidi Ahanotu, have a good
So-
time tonight, my friend. Absolutely great
Chidi.
talking to you.
Hey, appreciate it, guys.
And
Thank you very much.
We will definitely talk soon here. Great announcement. Once again, letter of intent by Mr. Chidi Ahanotu signed to fight Warren Sapp. Who does not want to see that grudge match? And you know
Get your popcorn ready.
that it's going to be on NSPN.
Yeah.
We'll have you. We'll have me. We'll have interviews with. We'll try to have interviews with both of them. Most likely, we won't. We'll have interview with Chidi Ahanotu. We'll have Alex Fleming, who's in the background there. So we'll have the whole NSPN family all a part of it. So we're looking forward to seeing this happen, and I think it would be a hell of a thing to experience, if you will, as a sports fan.
I think it
So,
will be.
Yeah. All
For
right.
sure.
Good stuff, my friend. Go ahead and have a good time with your family. Thanks a lot to your family for
thanks for
coming
everybody
out.
came
We
out.
appreciate that.
Big shout
And we'll
out to y'all.
definitely talk soon. All right, Chidi?
All right. Thank you, guys.
All right.